Welcome, welcome y'all. Welcome if it's your first time to my channel, and welcome back if you've been here with me before. I sincerely appreciate every one of you. We are on build 3 of our, what are we doing? Our Sakura Noodle Shop. In this series of 8 that I have the little single rooms. I have 4 completed, so we're on the set of our next 4, and on our first build we did our base, and our second build we did our little wall. So we're going to continue on and get a few little things done here. What are you guys thinking about the shorter videos? So, okay, so I need A8 that is on this little little stack here. A8 is this little one here, and I learned from last time, even though this is very thin, it is just easier to go ahead and cut them out. They pop out cut very easily, but sometimes if you don't cut them, they don't want to pop out. And then we need C114, which is from our paper, if I can grab it, and it's this little one here. So we do have some dotted lines here and here, and those are going to be our fold lines, so obviously it's going to fold around the edges of this. So go ahead and get this one cut right out. Since it's in the center of our paper, I'm not going to kind of dismantle everything. I'm just going to cut it straight out according to the guidelines. Did that make sense? I don't know if that made sense. In my head it made sense. I mean, I'm not going to cut like around it and then bring it out and cut it exact. I'll just cut it exact right from here. Oh, that top. I wasn't sure. I didn't think I cut that one. Did I cut the bottom one? Yeah. Okay. Whew. My brain is not exactly working. So we're going to go ahead and turn this over. So now, actually, I'm going to get, come on, work with me here. I have such a big stack of rulers now. I'm gonna get my little plastic metal ruler out. I call it that because I thought it was metal, but I think it's just a thick plastic. Yeah, and we're gonna bend the 3 sides. So that one that's kind of sticking out, we're going to give it a little bend, and then our dotted lines on the side, we're going to give it a little bend. I'm not going to crease it completely like flat because the wood will help us, but I kind of just need to know where to glue it. So I just need to know kind of where the guidelines of that of those edges are. So I'm just going to start off sticking some glue on the flat side. And pop that right down. Whoop. So this side will be completely flat, and then these sides will all be where the bends, they'll match up where the bends are. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of, boy, this little thing wants to be in my way today. Go ahead and put some glue on our 3 sides. And then just go ahead and fold over our paper. I'm going to use, because this is a little bit thicker too than regular paper. All of this paper is slightly thicker, so it doesn't really want to stay just at first touch. So that side's good. That side's good, and other than our smushed out glue, which, nope, our center does not want to stay yet. So give that just another second, which I am using Aleene's Tacky Glue. I use this and I just put it down in my 2 little bottles, the one with the precision tip and then this one here. I started out putting it in this one simply to pour into my smaller one because I cannot go from here to here. It will squirt out and not in the bottle. But I have found I do on the bigger pieces like to use this one. And then I went to get some more tip ones, and I accidentally bought the wrong size. I bought 4-ounce ones, which are bigger than any of these. Are like almost this, not quite as big as the original, but they do have the precision tip. So I'm still in the debating stage if I want to fill a big one instead of when I refill this one. I don't know yet. All right, so we're gonna set that aside, and now we need C130 and C132. Oh, and they are on our cardboard. They're going to be the little sushi sign and the frame. So I am going to, oh, this is a little bit harder because it is cardboard. Now, you might do better with scissors on this one because, you know, that's just your preference and what you like to use to cut out the different pieces. I am not much of a scissors person. So I prefer to struggle with pushing this down versus cutting on the wrong side of the scissor line. And I off-roaded quite a bit there on the ends. Still some on that side. Whoop, I dug in a little bit. That's okay. I'd rather, well, you know, I'd rather make it perfect, but it is handmade and it is made by my hands, which means it's probably not going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that. So we'll get the 4 sides here. Oop. Make sure you hold on to it nice and good, especially with this cardboard, having to push or pull, I should say, so hard it kind of wants to get away from you. Oh, I didn't even go through. Let's try that one again. There we go. And then this last little side here. I know I'm always telling you hold down your paper, but you don't really need to hold this down. It's so thick. Unfortunately, you might have to trim up a side or so. And now we do have to cut out the middle part of this. Ugh. These are ones that are not my favorite. Because it's not like, oh, I just, you know, off-roading. Off-roading there. It's because I'm cutting into my shadow. I know better than that. But these are so hard, I need the extra kind of strength to pull. Versus if I went to the side. And really, it's going right over top of this one, which they're both, whoop, I cut right through that, you guys, but this is what I'm saying. It's going right over the top of this outside. Literally no one will ever know. As long as I put it back together right. So I'm going to put the glue on the poster. Just right over that already frame that's printed on there. They're just trying to give it like a 3D kind of look. Okay, now I'm carefully going to lay this down right on top of it. Some of the paper kind of came a little unattached from the cardboard because of my cutting, so I put a little drop of glue on top just to kind of make sure everything stays down. Is it the best? No, but this was not an easy, super easy cut. It was a little bit harder cut, so that's okay. I'm okay with it. Now we're going to do C122, so we're going to do this little bag here. And I am going to cut this out directly because we have, well, I'm going to take off this line here. It'll make it easier to handle, but because I have little pieces here, I don't really want to have them floating around my desk. So if I can keep them attached, I will. Sometimes it's not really an option, and if I do that, then I have little tiny binder clips that I will clip everything together in if I need to. But just because my space is limited, it's good in a way. It helps keep everything close together, close by. I can't go too far. But that can also be a downside, is not everything can go too far, so there are times where they're kind of up on top of each other. This is going to be like a little bunny to-go bag, I think. Yeah, it's going to, yeah, I think it's going to be like a to-go bag. Get the top rounded off and then right back down our side. So I'm going to let you in on a little future project I have coming up. It's another library. It's not magical though. I really wanted to do it, but I just finished the library. I didn't know if anybody would be interested in another library. But the good thing is, do you remember all those book covers that I had to cut? Well, I don't have to cut pretty much, mostly anything regarding books in this library. There's a lot of them, but they're all stickers. So I get to pop out the, I think, wood pieces. I just did a super quick glance because it's like heavy. It's the heaviest kit I've ever gotten. And I was just curious why it was so heavy. Yeah, it's a lot. It's big, but I'm so excited. And but I had told myself I was doing these 4 miniatures next because my mom wants to put them on her hutch. So I'm doing them. But my heart is just in that library, totally. So I'm just giving these the little, you know, the little mini bend, and then I am gonna give it a more solid bend so that when I have to put them, the flaps in, they'll be easier to. These ones, they'll be easier to set inside. So we'll get these bent here. This is the last one. And then we're going to fold this up and put these on each side. So those little flaps will be on the inside, and that's the side of the bag. So I'm going to just do one at a time. Put our glue on here. Just line up those edges. And I do like to use my tweezers just to give it a bit of a squeeze. I knew there was going to be some glue coming out. And again, like now I wiped it off, you can't see it, but it will dry clear. The Aliens does dry clear, so you don't have to worry. If you get it somewhere and don't see it or something, you don't have to worry about wiping it off, even if you do see it. So line up that edge. See, this is regular. Like, no, this is a little. Oh, it's a little bit thicker than paper, but not much. So it does want to not stick immediately, but at least it's quicker. Oh, if only if I can get it lined up though. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And that's why I pre-bent them down, so it makes it easier for them to kind of sit on the inside. I don't have to struggle so much with them. I maybe should have done both sides on one front first and then both. Oh well. It's kind of how you want, it's easier for you. The order that you fold them in, and the more you do, the more you'll realize what's easier. And I should have done it the other way, but oh well, we got this. Now see, this one wants to go on the outside, so now I've got to be careful because I can't open it too wide because this side is glued, but I've got to get that little edge on the inside there. Got it, no troubles. That's why they're pre-bent and pre-folded down, because if I had not given that a good fold, I would have fought it. I would have literally fought getting that to slide in there without lifting it too far up. Okay, give it a squeeze for a second. Now, with these bags, this is only my second bag I've done, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan, because now I've got to close it and flap this over, but to close it I have to indent here, but not all the way, like it's, so I need to put an indent in the center and like let it kind of fold in on itself so that the sides come together. Oh, that did way better. My first one was horrible, my first bag, and you guys saw me, if you watched my revolving food house, you saw me do it. It was bad. I botched it. That one wasn't bad though. That one actually did really good. Yeah, I am gonna put just a drop of glue in the top of these before I put the lid on. That way it does stay, the lid, I mean the flap. That way that they will maybe stay together. When the flap is down, I think it'll help it. So then I'm just gonna run some glue around the edge of my flap here and make sure those sides are down and level, and then just fold it over. Oh wow, guys, that turned out way better than the first bag, to-go bag I did. I got a little bit of glue that was stuck on my fingers, and then it gets a little tacky, and then you touch paper and it gets stuck on it. That's okay, just it'll scrape off. Okay, so we have our little lucky rabbit. What are they? No, those are lucky kitties. This is like a little rabbit, I think. Little to-go bag. And then we're gonna do two, it says wine bottles, and I love that it says wine bottles, but I'm going to call them sake bottles because I think that's cuter. So we need some bits and bobbles here. So we're gonna use these big pink round beads. And we do have two of them. Oh, that's got some, oh, and then we need, hold on, this has a bit of plastic, like, I gotta be careful, this is a brand new blade. Like when it came out of the mold, some of the extra stuck to it. That happens a lot, and that's okay. Generally I don't really bother, but it wouldn't set flat on the ground, or the little piece wouldn't set flat on top. So just shave that off. So now we have, oh, there's a little bit. No. Yeah. There we go. And now we're going to also get two little, I like to call them mushroom tops. They look like little button mushrooms. Okay. And then we need C121. These two little itty bitty. But the good thing is now we can cut a little bit of this extra paper off of this one. And I'm gonna cut out, there's two little, yeah, they're little itty bitty. They got some like strawberries on them, I think. Yeah, I think they're strawberries. Strawberry wine, right? So we're gonna cut out around both of them to make it easier, and then we'll cut them in individuals. Okay, and then each one. And now we're going to, I'm going to put these on first. Little stickers. Little pictures, I mean. Oh, the glue's going to grab it, yep. And make sure that their strawberries are face up. And that's the only thing, it's small and square, and the bead flat, and the bead is round. So it's like, what, two sides will go flat, and then two sides will pop up. So just take your time and just kind of work that glue. And then you can always just kind of brute force. I think I missed a little bit of glue on this. Oh, yeah, not, maybe not. Okay, that's a little rough. I've had them easier, but that's okay. And again, I'm just gonna, because I'm gonna put that button, mushroom button on the top. I'm just gonna make sure that's lined up with that hole. So it'll be like the front, the actual front. Maybe if I'd bent the paper's so small, I don't know if I could have. Maybe if I like had rubbed it around like my X-Acto knife handle or something, it might have been a little bit easier to lay on the bend of the bead, but they're so small that it's really hard to do that. Okay, you know, just do the best you can. I mean, it's gonna stick. So now I'm gonna put a bit of glue on the top of the bead, and I'll try to turn these over. They do not want to turn over. I'm going to carefully try to set that on top there. Level. That's not level. Or not so level. It's like one little side went in the little hole, and then the rest obviously doesn't fit. So, oh, there we go. Okay. Let's set it down. Oh no. Okay, it's good. We're good. We're gonna do the same thing on the other one. It is metal and plastic. I probably could have used a touch of super glue and had it. I'm going to try to do it. No, I'm not. Yeah, maybe I will. With my fingers instead of the tweezers. I could have probably used a touch of super glue, but sometimes they don't want to, it doesn't want to hold plastic to metal. I don't know what the difference. Sometimes it works wonderful, but sometimes it just doesn't. So if I can just, and I knew these were going to be hard to level out because they always are. So super glue, you know, you stick it and it's done. It's like, it's not level. Okay, so we're going to set that one there. And please, okay, it didn't tip. Whew. All right. So we're just going to put, we've got a little poster here. Oh, our sushi poster is going to go here, and our bag, and then one of our wine bottles. Oh, we have a ledge. Oh, it's going A8. Oh, pay attention, Missy. Our shelf that we made, so we have little dotted red lines here. So that's going to be to tell us exactly, can you see the little dotted red lines? I know with my lights it's kind of hard. Right here. So that's where my shelf is going to sit. So let's glue up the shelf. Okay, and then you want to make sure it's 90 degrees. It's kind of hard to see. I got a whole lot of extra glue in there. So, of course I did, right? So the sushi is going to go, it doesn't show if it's like leaning, or I'm going to put it against the wall because we're going to put one of these on in front of it. I want to make sure we have plenty of room on the shelf for that big round bead to go. So I am going to stick this right to the wall, but right down like at the base of the shelf. So it looks like it's sitting on the shelf, but really it's on the wall. We're going to go right at the edge there. Pretty much, yeah. Okay, and then I'm going, I really want to put that wine bottle on, but I kind of don't want to touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the shelf instead of on the bottom of the bead, which means I'll put way too much glue. Oh, come on. My shelf is not dry. I put a little bit too much pressure on it. And now I'm going to just try to what should I do? I really should let these dry. But you know me, I'm a bit impatient. I'm just gonna twist in that so that wine label is right where I want it. Come on. There we go. And then, so I can't really tip it, but we've got the bottle there. Now this is going to go right along the edge here. So if I lay that flat, that panel flat again, it's going to take that and just roll that bottle back. So I don't want to roll the bottle back. So that's okay. We'll just put our little baggie right there on the edge. I'm making sure everything is inside of this shelf, nothing sticking out, because in case, I'm not sure if we have any awnings, support beams that maybe go up along the side. I just don't want to cause any future problems. So, all right guys, we've got our little wall completed. We do have one wine bottle left that will go somewhere at some point. Yeah, there's only one on the shelf. There's only room for one. So we'll tuck that. I'm gonna tuck it in my Tupperware after it dries. I'm gonna let it sit here and dry for a few minutes so that it doesn't flop around in there. So all right, next build, we're gonna build our little bar area. It's gonna come out, and we'll get that going. So thank you so much for joining me on our build, and I hope to see you on the next one. So I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening, whichever the case may be, and I'll see you next time. Be safe, guys. Bye.